Water pump. Exposed live wires, 3-socket power bar, with 9 devices plugged in. Just another day in VN. I don't know what VN is. Oh wait, I think we saw this one before. Or maybe I saw it somewhere else. I think it was Vietnam. I don't remember. Terrifying. Better than coffee. We're comparing bad Wi-Fi? This AP drowned. Oh. Yeah, so technically speaking, and this is coming from an expert opinion, if I may say so myself, water and electronics is bad. Just in case you didn't know. The internet is quite slow. Have you tried plugging the fracking cable in? Actually, it is. It looks like it's not plugged in, but there's a jack just behind that plate that's probably been smashed to all high hell. On the other side of those, some of these jacks, there's a bunch of pins and gates that keep the wire in place, and if you smash it, the wires fall out of the gates, and it makes the internet slow. It happens all the time though, especially in dorms where the furniture that they get just mashes straight up against the wall. Colleague came down to IT, complaining their company phone wasn't charging fast enough. Okay, I see, I understand your solution to the phone charging faster is a Jesus cable, but remember, we do not give end users Jesus cables. They are for internet points only. We do not actually send the end users to meet Jesus. Do you understand? The third time this week, Todd. Blazing fast Wi-Fi. This is just some other, technical advice. Really high level, stuff that you would really need to know in like a tier 3 scenario. Fire is also bad for electronics. My dog likes to go under my house. I was wondering why my internet suddenly went out. Yeah, that'll happen. I'm surprised your dog made it through that, but actually, I guess you can get through a coax cable. These are coax cables. They're thick like cable TV cables, and they take some effort to get through, but yeah, I guess a dog will get through that. Why won't my Wi-Fi work? Third piece of technical advice. I know there's a lot of technical advice coming at you today. If your router is liquid, not filled with liquid, actually made of liquid, that is bad, and you will not be doing a Wi-Fi today. Cable management? Okay, this is not technically IT. This is like a video rack. That up top is a Blackmagic video switcher. It looks surprisingly okay from the front, at least. Yeah, the cables down at the bottom look a little strained. Let's take a look at the back. Oh my God. I will find you. You will turn off the lights in your server room, and you will hear Doom Guy music, and the lights will turn pink, and you will know who has come for you. It's me, Lexi. Here to fix you and your mess. Wire monsters. This needs a googly eyes. This needs big old googly eyes. If my mental health was an Ethernet cable. Oh God, if IT people's patience with some end users was an Ethernet cable. Oh, that was such a good post. No better way to do this. There are many better ways to do this. I've complained about, so I think I did this exact post on my own channel. The part to replace this correctly is $2. In fact, it's just like $1.60 something. I looked it up. But they decided that the only acceptable explanation for this is if the end user didn't have internet and was waiting on a contract or something and had to do it themselves. And they just needed to get stuff done. And they looked up a wiring diagram on Google and got this far, and it works. Good for them, like genuinely good for them. But if a professional you paid actual money to did this, I'd like their resignation to be used as gift wrap for their head. Customer, the phone fell out of handbag. Was your handbag on the Empire State Building? It does look like a side corner impact top left, but that was a very tall handbag. Lying in bed, and I heard the one noise I never wanted to hear. What in the hell? Oh, is this a glass top desk? Okay, I think that's what, I think it's a glass top desk. I'm not sure what shattered it. It's just kind of a mess. I'm so sorry. This is why I have a wood top desk. I've never understood glass top desks, but I'm sure, people like them. Don't. Wi-Fi is kind of slow on the 3rd floor. Can you check it out? Yeah, sure, we can see what we can do. Why is the router filled with cheese? 4th technical. I'm sorry. I'm done. I think my computer overheated. What were you using for coolant? Uranium? Our printer is printing dark pages. 7 days. No, this happens due to something inside the printer called the transfer roller. Basically, it picks up the black powdery stuff called toner to go to the fuser to be basically melted onto the page. I'm skipping over a lot here, but I know Xerox printers had a big problem with they would shred their entire transfer and fuser assembly, and they just dump toner directly onto the page. And if you dump enough toner on the page directly before the fuser, it'll just get fused directly onto the page, and you'll just get an entirely black page. It smells really nice, though. I can't describe, just warm toner smells nice. Being an alarm engineer, this just brings pain. You're an alarm, fire alarm engineer. I'm genuinely impressed this was even allowed. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. You mean alarm like access control? Oh, yes. Okay. So for those not familiar, in the US, fire alarms are very strictly regulated and require special installation certification and inspections and all sorts of stuff by the fire marshal. Security systems, just, you open the door and it goes beep beep. Usually no inspections, or just an inspection to make sure that you haven't done any low voltage stuff that could catch on fire. So yeah, unfortunately you can get away with some garbage stuff like this. And alarm systems are typically much more custom than networking. So it is very important for the people 10 years down the road to understand why this wire is where it is and what it does. And a rat's nest like this is unintentional job security for the initial install company, but it makes sure that they'll never be hired back for another job. You'll just be hired back long enough to explain yourself, and then we'll hire another company to come in, rip out all your stuff, and install something that, is actually readable. Parents had flaky internet and had to keep restarting equipment in order. So my dad built this contraption to start them up with timers in order. Funnily enough, why aren't the antennas up on the router? These panels need to come up for reception. Anyways, in server rooms, there are big boxes called UPS units, or uninterrupted power supplies. And they actually have a bunch of outlets on them that you can set up, the bigger ones, to turn back on in sequence if there's an AC outage that's too long for the batteries to maintain. So if the power goes out, the batteries kick in, and then they send a signal to the computer saying shut down because we only have like 30 minutes left of battery or whatever. All the computers shut down, and then the power keeps going out. Then you're out. But when you start back up, you need specific devices to be started up in a specific order. So you can say outlet 1 starts up. You wait 5 minutes. So outlet 2 starts up. So this right here is exactly how large-scale infrastructure IT starts back up. So good on him. I'm not sure why you need to keep restarting all this stuff. Especially the router is really nice. Like, that should be smart enough to figure all this out. And why do you have... Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to try to fix this. I'm going to walk away. Arrived at a client's site in the city and parked beside this. Oh, you sweet summer child. That is not the worst you're going to see in whatever city you're in. If the city is New York City, this should not have been the worst you've seen. Don't worry, we will patch it for you. I think you mixed up patching and sneezing out patch cables. A patch is just connecting a jack that goes to a room with the switch that gives it internet. Also, who the hell mounted those switches at the top? They're like misaligned as hell. Anyways, the patch bay is that thing in the middle. Those are all the jacks that go to all the rooms, and then up atop you see the two boxes with lots of ports. That's the actual internet. And when you patch something, you're supposed to be able to tell what room goes to what jack in case you need to shut it down or change its network so it can connect different things, etc. This is just a war crime, and will also result in you hearing Doomguy music and the lights going pink, and you know exactly who's coming. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a second image. And that's how it should be done. Yes, good, excellent, beautiful. All right, we'll cancel the Doomguy raid. Why does my PC crash? I need help. Yeah, you need help. All right. I do appreciate the large print keyboard. I don't appreciate anything else. I know this is a joke. I know it's a joke, but it still makes me angry. Spicy pillow becomes a hot pocket. Spicy pillows causes evacuation. Oh yeah, it should. Yeah, you can see the burn going straight to Saturn, or at least 2 millimeters forward. I like to imagine it started out on the sidewalk and propelled itself about 8 inches. Be careful of swollen batteries. Y'all know my feelings on those at this point. Guys! I have new Fortnite gamer player computer. I mean, it's a GTX. So it's something. I appreciate physical media, like I really do. Oh my God, it's on a bed. Oh, Why did it take me that long to realize this was a bed? No, but I do appreciate physical media. But I do want to know why you took all the time out to hook up the CD drive to play for. Oh, it's Windows XP. Never mind. All of this was lies. Nothing like a little game of chicken when you need to plug in your Ethernet cable. What are you doing to the? What are you ground? You're ground. Oh my God! You're grounding it to. Oh my God. Okay, there's a barrel jack in laptops, older laptops. I hate barrel jacks because the center post breaks and then the laptop won't charge constantly. Anyways, the center is, I think, positive, and then the outside is negative. I don't remember. I always have to check. They've taken a paper clip, gone to the center of the adapter, and dumped it into the center pin of the power jack, and then they've grounded out the VGA port back to the ground of the power adapter. Now laptop power adapters are usually like 65 watts, 80 watts. Not a ton, but not inconsequential either. Like this could do some damage. Port light indicates up. Proceed as normal. Don't check stats. All right, so above Ethernet cables is fiber connections, which is using lasers to fire internet very fast. There are different types of fiber though, so you have to put a module into these big square holes called a GBIC or an SFP. We'll call it an SFP, a small form pluggable. On the other side of this is a type of connection called LC, which is very, very tiny fiber cables, two of which are inserted into the SFP module on the left. They've forgotten to put this lock here, which would lock it into place. But behind that, I don't know what they've done, because they plugged something else into these LC heads. This is not a normal LC cable. Actually, it might just be severed. I think the entire head is just severed, because that release tab should curve over the two little teeth you see pointing up. And I think it's just been broken off. At first I thought something was jammed in there and then they plugged something into the back of that, but no, I think this is just broken off without the connector in, is just hanging on by sheer will. And somehow it's transmitting just enough light to make sure that there's still a link. Because technically if you aim a laser at a receiver, you'll get a connection, but the stats, the dropped packets, the number of interruptions that you have, oh, it's gonna be miserable. Someone posted this to r/Ask Electronics, wondering why the switch they replaced doesn't work. I know they asked, which is great. It's good to ask questions. Genuinely, I appreciate when people ask questions, but if you didn't at least admit that, hey, part of this is burned. Does this have anything to do with it? This happens when your soldering iron is either too hot or on there too long, and it burns the pads and the traces. So on that left one, you can actually see there's no path from the trace, that light green part, going to the pin. It's just charred. It's just carbon, probably. I don't know. And so there's no way to get electricity from that pin to that trace to go into the bus that goes onto that switch up there. And we're going to skip over all of the soldering here. But yeah, typically if it's black and charred, something's gone wrong. Y'all think I should buy this? Seems to have a good cooling. A good cooling. Let's see here. It's a Dell Power Connect 5224 switch. $14. Power Connect. I have never heard of a Power Connect switch. I know the obvious joke is that the inside is like empty. Oh wait. I got so nerdy on this that I neglected to realize that the holes on the top are definitely not a drill pattern Dell would use. It is just Swiss cheese out somebody took a drill press to this and free-handed out like just some cooling vents. Please tell me you took that top panel off first. Like, I'm sure it had overheating issues. I've never heard of it, which means it wasn't very good. For $14, I'd still buy it out of curiosity though. The worst that happens is it doesn't do anything and you go recycle it and you get a fun story out of it. After 8 weeks of troubleshooting one of our new, very expensive imaging systems, I found the problem. Are you serious? So yeah, there's a shield where you're supposed to it helps you get the silvery goop that cools the CPU between the CPU and the cooler, and it was not removed. So the CPU is just cooking itself, and that makes CPUs unstable. They might still run, but they'll constantly either thermally throttle or thermally shut down or stuff like that. Exhausting. That's so exhausting. I'm so sorry.